Hello everyone, welcome to a strategy tip of the week for Castles of Burgundy. I'm Kapil and this is the Strategy Meeples YouTube channel. So in this one, I have planned something interesting and I've pulled up like 5 of my most recent games. And the strategy that I want to discuss is just going over the first 2 moves of the game in each of these games. So there's already a video that was created by Sam from the No Wonders YouTube channel along with Pistol Star, in which they go over like the best position on each map to start off. So I'm not going to cover a lot of details about where to put your starting castle. I'm just going to cover what tiles I go for in the first 2 actions that I take in each game, and also the actions my opponent takes. And I think that will be a nice strategy guide for this week. So let's jump right into it. So the first game that we'll review is against this player that I played recently. It's board number 3. So ideally a good place to start on this board is down here, because you have like connection to water, you have connection to this one building. Again, I'll add a link to the video created by the No Wonders YouTube channel down below, so that goes into each board in a lot more depth and the strategies that you want to follow. So let's see where we start on this board. So we start at the bottom right. Our opponent also starts at the bottom right, and the first thing we notice is that our opponent is player 1, we are player 2, and we roll a 1 and a 3 and they roll a 4 and a 5. So if I was playing as my opponent, in this case, the tiles that I would want to focus on are the mine, just because they rolled a 5, so that's really convenient. And with the 4, I would probably go for the water, because you still need a water to finish off this region of 1. And for me, 1 and a 3. So if my opponent does take the mine and the water, then my options probably would be to take the water on 1, I'm thinking. Actually, another option is I could just take the market, and I could place it right away on the 3 and pick up the other water. And my reasoning with that is I can still get like one of the waters from the middle. Another opening that I think is viable for me would be to pick up a water and pick up just this tile on number 2 with my 3. So that way at least I have some way of entering into this huge donut on this board. And if I'm able to place that, and if I pick up the castle, then I'll have a way to connect to the castle. I need at least 1 yellow to connect to that castle. So let's see the moves that were made in this game. Okay, so our opponent takes the water and the mine. That is probably, in my opinion, the best move they could have made. Okay, so we do end up taking the market in this case. Guess I'm debating that. Okay, so we do go with that move. I think my reasoning at this point was there's still like 2 yellows on the board, and if my opponent isn't just going to go and take both the yellows away from us, so we are going to get at least one of them. So this is the second game of the move in phase A. So our opponent has a 1 and a 3. So in this case, just looking at the board right now, I think it's a good move for them to just pick up the boarding house with the 1 and place it right away with the 3. And that way they end up with like 4 workers, and they have a lot of options to place this water and mine. So that is what I'm thinking. Let's see what they do. Okay. So they do something else. So they take the bank instead and they place it right away, and they buy this watchtower from the middle. Now this I don't think is a good move, because watchtowers are good like later in the game for like end game scoring. This early on, this building isn't really giving you a lot of benefit. If they just took a water, that would still be like a strong move. But taking the watchtower is not the ideal move in this case. So we have a 1 and a 5. Let's see what moves we play. Okay, so since they left us the boarding house, I think I'm going for the boarding house now. Just placing it. Okay, so boarding house, really strong tile in the first few rounds. I mean, it's a good tile at any point in the game. But the reason this building is so strong early on is because you don't have to waste like precious dice to get workers, and plus this is like completing. In this case, ideally I would have wanted to complete like a smaller region with it, but it's at least building towards like the bigger region. Plus it's giving me connections to this tile number 5 right here, which in turn is giving me connection to this water right here. Plus it gave me 4 workers early on, so that's really strong. Yeah, that's it for this game. Like I said, we are only looking at the first 2 moves and analyzing them. So that was for board number 3. Let's switch over. Let's go over to, actually I want to leave that game open. So let's go over to the second game, and this is a friendly game that I recently played with Janie. So Janie is finally back from her little break. She is playing a few games of Castles of Burgundy. And this is, one of the games I played with her recently. So this is board number 1. So one of the strongest places to start on this board is right in the center. In some cases, you can start on this if you're player 1. And if you pick up the castle, you can like just get a connection like this, and you'll get like 11 points in the first round. But in this case, both of us start in the middle. So Janie rolls a 1 and a 4, I roll a 2 and a 2. So let's see what the ideal moves for both of us would be. So again, Janie is starting as the first player. I'm player number 2. So if I was her, in this case, I'm almost tempted to grab both the water. Like, even though you rolled a 5 and you might be tempted to go for a mine, which is a pretty good tile in the first round because you're like setting up your economy for the rest of the game. But if you go for this 2 water, you are guaranteeing that you'll be first player going into the next round. And in the next round, I have a lot of pressure on me to try to take more water to catch up to Janie. So that's why it's, in my opinion, like a really strong move. It also hurts me because water is really good like on this board because it gives you I guess there's 3 regions of water on this board, so you can get like a lot of early completion bonuses if you focus on water. Plus focusing on water means that you get priority over the best tiles that show up in like the black market, for instance. You get control over the mine, so even if I grab this mine right now, Janie can catch up and get the mines in the future rounds. So let's see the move that she plays. Okay, so she does take away both the water from us. So what do we do with a 2 and a 2? So, okay, so let's see. So now that she got the water, I don't want to let her get the mine as well. I think that would be just too strong. So I want to find out a way to get the mine. But in this case, since I rolled a 2, this two workers isn't enough to get the 5. Like I need 3 workers to go from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. So a better option for me in this case is just to grab the church with the 2 and place it with the 2 in this spot right here. And that way I'll be placing the church, I'll be getting the mine, and I'll be completing a region of 1. So that seems like a really good move to me. Okay, and that's the move we make. So now it's Janie's turn. So this is the second round of phase A. So let's see what option she has. So she rolls a 4 and a 6. Okay. In this case, one option that I see for her is with the 6, she could pick up the town center. And then with the 4, she can like just place it and then place a water right away on either of these spots. There is this carpenter's workshop, but then yeah, that's an option. But if she picks it up with the 4, she doesn't have anywhere good to place it with the 6. What else do we see for her? Actually, right now, I think that is the best move that I see for her. So let's see. Okay, so really good move. For us, we roll a 1 and a 4. So in this case, since we have taken the mine and we already have 1 silver, we are definitely going to be getting 2 silver at the beginning of the next round if I don't buy anything from the black market. And Janie still needs to like sell one of the goods to get to 2 silver. Another way for her to get to 2 silver would be to grab a bank. And since I already rolled a 1, it's a really good option for me just to grab the bank. And then I can use the 4 to place the mine right here. So I think that's a strong move for me. I'm not looking at getting Carpenter's Workshop because, I mean, yeah, it's possible, but then if I grab it with the 4, then I don't have anything good to do with my 1. I mean, I could take workers with 1, but why not just grab a bank and place the mine right away? So I think that's the move we end up making. And that is it for this game. So we talked about the first 2 moves, and that's the strategy that we played on our turns. Okay, let's go over to game number 3. So in this game, I'm again playing a strong 300 elo player. So let's see the board that we both start on. So in this game, we both start on board number 7. And our opponent interestingly started on the bottom right, which I haven't done myself a lot. I mean, if you're player 2, I can see the benefit to starting to the right. Like you instantly have connection to this region of yellows and potentially some animals or buildings on this side. And let's see the dice that we rolled. So they rolled a 1 and a 1, and we rolled a 5 and a 5. And right now, just looking at the board, the strongest tile on the board right now is tile number 12. And since we are player 1, that is the tile I'll be focusing on. Now the reason, actually I won't get into the details of why this tile is so strong, but just to walk through like the details of this tile. So if this tile is in your estate or duchy, whenever you take a tile from the main board, you may change the die result by 1. This is done automatically. So it's basically giving you a free die, free worker in either direction. So it can make like my 5 become a 4 or a 4 or a 6, even if I have like 0 workers, to pick up tiles from anywhere on the board. And getting that in the first round is the strongest action you could take, probably, in my opinion. So that is the tile that I'm definitely going for, and it perfectly lines up because I have rolled 2 5s and I have good number 5. So I can just sell with one of the 5s, pick up the tile, and now with the other 5 I have the option of also going for a mine. The other thing I could do with the 5 is I could grab a water. So I think in this game I do end up grabbing the water because my opponent rolled a 1 and a 1, and for them they would have to spend like both the workers to grab a mine. Yeah, I guess I just thought that them not having enough workers early on, I'm fine with that. So let's see. Or maybe I do grab the mine. Okay, well, yeah, I think I do like this move better because why give up a mine if we have the chance? And tile number 12, like I said, is really strong. Ideally, I'm looking to place it on one of these spots right here. I want to like go something like this. And then I also want to try and finish this region and then get a connection to the top of the board. My opponent, I think if I was them and starting on the right, then I would probably want to go something like this, or I don't know, just something like this maybe. So they roll a 1 and a 1. Let's see what options they have. I think in this case, I would just pick a water and then maybe sell a good and take a water. Well, no. I'm going to take a water and I'm going to take a castle in this case. I think that's a good move. Let's see what they do. Okay, so they take the castle and the water. So this is round 2 of phase A. We roll a 3 and a 5 and they roll a 3 and a 5 too. So what do we do in this case? So since they took a water from the board, I don't want to let them get both the water from the boards. So in that case, I think it's a good option for us to pick up this water. And both these die work for it. And with the other, I could just like take workers or something. So let's see what we do. Okay, so we take the tile with die number 5 and then we take workers. So I could have taken it with the 5 and then I could have placed it on the 3. But whenever your opponent hasn't placed their water and you're player 1, I kind of want to like delay playing my water. Plus, if I'm able to play it in spot number 1, I instantly get a connection to this yellow region to place my tile number 12. So that's why I didn't place it on 3. Because if I place it on 3, then to get to 5, I still need a building and that's another action spent. So I was trying to be more efficient and get workers. So our opponent rolls a 3 and a 5 and let's see what they decide to do. Okay, so if we look at the board right now, I guess a move for them would be to pick up this tile number 9 with the 5. And with the 3, they could place the castle and place tile number 5, something like that. Is that the best move that I think? I maybe would have prioritized the middle water more in this case. I probably would have played the castle with the 3. Actually, I could have just sold I could have sold good number 2 with the 3, grabbed the water, and then just taken workers with the 5. I think that's a decent move. That way they are like guaranteed to go into the next round as player 1. Let's see what they end up doing. Okay, so they do not place their castle. They just take the tile and then they place it in this spot. Okay. But yeah, that's the first 2 turns of this game. Let's move on to the 4th game in this series. Okay, board number 10. I really like board number 10. It's fun. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So both me and our opponent are starting on the same board. And we are starting at the same spot. And I'm going in as player number 2. My opponent is player 1, I'm player 2. They roll a 5 and a 4 and we roll a 1 and a 1. So what are the strongest tiles on the board right now? It's tile number 15. Probably the strongest scoring yellow tile in the game. The castle is really strong because we both have that close connection to the castle. I mean the mine, sorry. So we want to try and get to that mine as fast as we can. Tile number 9 can be good if you're going for this region of buildings right here, but I did not plan on committing to it, so I think it's not in my radar right now. My opponent rolls a 4 and a 5. Let's see what they do. If I was them, like if I was playing as them, I would literally just sell like this 5, grab tile number 15, and with the 4 I would probably just take water, or I could even go as far as taking the mine with the 4 and spend a worker, because I cannot grab both the waters with my 1. So that's what I would have done if I was in their shoes. Okay, so they take the mine and they take the water, which is a good move for them. But the problem is they let me get away with tile number 15, which it's this tile is just like deceptively strong. It's saying that you get 3 points per type of good sold. There's 6 goods in the game, and 6 times 3 equals 18 points. For practically, like, you already want to focus on water, and I already have like 3 types of goods. They had 3 types of goods. So you're already guaranteeing like 9 points. Plus, I'm sure it's most of the goods turn up in like all the games, and it's not that hard to sell each type of good. So it's a guaranteed 18 points for you, like right in round 1. You won't, I mean, the points are calculated at the end of the game, but it's only like some animal tiles, or like if you really get crazy with buildings, like you're gonna score that high with a single yellow tile. So I'm definitely picking that up with my 1, and with the other one I'm just picking up a water in this case. Okay, let's see what we do on our second turn in phase A. So our opponent rolls a 2 and a 6. We roll a 1 and a 6. Okay, so 2 and a 6. What do they want to do? So again, if I was in their shoes right now, I would probably just play the water with the 2 over here. Actually, there's 2 6s on the board, so they don't have anywhere to take goods right now. So what I could do instead is I could sell goods with the 5. I mean, sell goods with the 6. And then I would take the other water from the black market, and with the remaining 2 I would then place this water over here and pick up one of these 6s. I think that's a strong move. What else could they have done? I guess town hall. No. Yeah, I like this move better. This way they have like both the water, and they are guaranteed to finish this region of 2. They are guaranteed to finish this mine right here and potentially grab the castle away from us. Let's see what they end up playing. Okay, so they do not contest the tile in the middle. I guess another reasoning that they would have thought is we have 0 silver, so we are not going to immediately grab that tile. So they just get the town hall, place the water. But the downside of doing this is they don't get any goods for placing this water. So that's not that efficient. I think they could have sold a good and then placed the water. That way they have access to this other water. They have access to a new type of good. Yeah, so I think they could have played a better move in that spot. We have a 1 and a 6. So I could just go ahead and play my water, but let me see what else I could do in this case. 1 and a 6. I mean, I do want to place this tile number 15 in like 4 or 2, and I do want to start going down this way. Yeah, actually I'm not sure what the best move in this case is. Maybe just playing a water, but then I'm still giving them the opportunity to get a water from the middle. What else can be done? Yeah, actually another option is to grab the carpenter's workshop and then just take workers, or I mean even go ahead and place this yellow. I don't know, I think I'll have to think harder, but let's see what move we make. Okay. So we place the water, we get a 6, and we sell goods with our other 6. And I guess the reasoning was that we are trying to threaten taking that water from the middle. So now our opponent is like forced to take it. So I don't know if that was the best move, because I should have tried to line it up where I have like 0 silver and then I sell 2 goods one after the other and maybe get the water. But this way I've kind of given up my intention that I'm trying to compete for this water, and my opponent has a pretty good chance of getting it from me. But yeah, I won't go into too much more of this game. That was just the starting that we wanted to discuss. Let's go over to the 5th and final game of the series. So this is again a game that was played on board number 10. Both me and our opponent have started at the same spot. Again, the strongest tiles on the board right now, in my opinion, are tile number 25. 14 is a really strong tile too in round 1. The mine is really strong in this case, and water is like always good. If I was looking at the buildings, probably the one that stands out most is just the boarding house maybe. And castles is situational depending on if you're able to reach all the way to the castle. Okay, so we have a 1 and a 1. Our opponent has a 1 and a 2. What do we do in this case? I think for us, we just use a 1 to get a water. I think that's guaranteed. And with the other one, I probably just go ahead and sell either the 2 or the 6. One of these. And I think I'm going to go for tile 25 over tile number 14. I think that's a better move here. Okay, that's what we end up doing. The reason this tile is so strong is because it's not as strong as tile number 15, but it's still pretty strong. Like there's been games where I've sold like almost 15 or more goods, and it's worth that many points at the end of the game. So that can be a really strong action. So they roll a 1 and a 2. What would they do with the 1 and a 2? So the mine is still on the board. So 1 and a 2. They could almost just grab the castle with the 2. I mean, they grab the mine with the 1, sorry. And then with the 2, yeah, it's a hard decision. I don't know. Maybe just grab a carpenter's workshop and place it on the 3 and get the boarding house or something. That's an option. What else? I mean, there is this water. Yeah, I think they should grab the water actually. Yeah. So with the 2, I would grab the water. And with the 1, I would actually just take the carpenter's workshop, hoping to complete this region. And then the water would just give me lead to go into round number 2 as player 1 if I was them. Let's see the move they end up taking. Okay. So they do not compete on the water with us. They just take the carpenter's workshop and they immediately take yellow tile number 18. Which is good because it's giving them 4 bonus points, but I don't think it's the best move in that situation, because they gave up the opportunity of going as player 1 into the next round. And now we rolled a 3 and a 5. So I can easily just sell goods, take workers and take the water. And then I'm guaranteed to like finish this region. Now I do have the option of getting the mine, but in this case I think it's fine to give up the mine. And actually I'm not sure, because they could still take the water. So it's kind of, yeah, it depends on like what they are thinking. So let's see what we actually end up doing. So I'm debating whether to take the mine in this case. I'm really thinking through it. Okay, so I do end up getting the mine and then I take workers. In this case, I think my opponent should just really take the water. I hope they take the water. Okay, they still do not commit to that water. It's still on the board. Well, I guess since it's the last game, let's just complete the phase A and let's see where we end up. So we place the water on the 1. We take 2 stacks of 1s, which is really nice. The 3 we pick up the water. Okay. Opponent has a 2 and a 6. They pick up the castle and then they pick up this bonus for watchtowers. So I guess just by picking up these 2 yellow tiles, they have signaled to us that they plan to start working on their region of 8 buildings. So that can help me block them more efficiently and just to, yeah. They've kind of given up their strategy over here because, like, if you're picking up these end of game bonus tiles for buildings, then that means you're planning to commit to putting those buildings on your board, or at least trying to. So we have a 1 and a 2. The reason I sold goods with my 2 in this case is because I need 2 silver going into the new round, and I only had 1. I had 0 silver, so now I have 1, and I'll get 1 from the mine. And it's fine if I don't place both of these tiles. I probably just want to try and place one of them, and 1 I can keep in my storage. So my opponent has a 2 and a 3. That is great. Look at that. So they've completed this region of 2, they've completed this region of 2, they've completed this region of 1. So they are sitting at a nice 37 points. We have 1 and a 3. I think just complete the water in this case. I think that is pretty strong. Or not. Okay, well, let's see. So I think I was thinking through what to do in this case. I can see going on 3 as a good move too, but then I would have been at like just whatever I was at, like 11, so 17 or less than 20 points, and then they would have had a big lead. So I would have had a little more pressure going into the new round. And with the 2 and the 4, 2 and a 4, let's see what they end up doing. Okay, it's a pretty good move. I probably would have tried to sell goods too, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that was the first round of this game. We won't go through the whole game. We'll save like the whole game replays for a different series. But yeah, that's it for today's video. The strategy tip of the week was starting actions, and we tried to go through like our starting 2 moves in each of these games, each of these 5 games. So hope you learned something new. If you think that I made a big mistake or like missed something, please let me know in the comments down below. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this content, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you.